Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. I'm playing Pac-Man here on the Sega Genesis. And you might be wondering how, because Pac-Man was never released for the Sega Genesis, at least not like properly. Is this like a flash cart ROM? Is this somebody's homebrew? No. This is an original Sega Genesis cartridge that has Pac-Man on it. But the reason I'm playing it is more important than how I'm playing it. I'm actually doing this because I ended up buying a controller by mistake. If you can see here, I've actually got this, which is the ASCIIware Power Clutch SG Fight Stick controller. It's got 3 buttons and a joystick on it, and it allows me to play things like Pac-Man really well. I ended up buying this thing by mistake. I didn't intend to get it. It's part of a little project I had in mind. And I thought to myself, okay, I've got this thing because an original Genesis controller works just fine for this project. Surely when I plug in this ASCIIware Power Clutch Fight Stick, it's going to work exactly the same way as the controller that I had used from the Sega Genesis. Nope, I was wrong. Joke's on me. It doesn't work. It's not being recognized for the little item I have in mind as a project. There's something weird about the way the Fight Stick controller has been designed, and I missed the cherries there. And I just thought, okay, well, that's no good, so what I will do instead is shelve this controller and go lick my wounds and figure, well, at least I didn't spend too much money on it. However, then I noticed a collection of arcade games that do exist for the Sega Genesis, and somebody did a comparison of this is what the Pac-Man that comes on the Genesis looks like compared to the arcade original. I was like, wait a minute. You can't play Pac-Man on the original Genesis. I mean, there's Ms. Pac-Man. Maybe that's what they were confused. No, it's original Pac-Man. I thought, but how? How are you doing that? Well, as it turns out, I'm doing it right here in the exact same way. This is Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. This is a cartridge that came out for the Sega Genesis. It's a weird little game, and I'm going to show you it in a second, but you can unlock Pac-Man through putting in a password code. But I'll show you what Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures is like, because it's kind of a weird game. So this is Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures, starring Pac-Man. If I go into the normal game, it's a weird one. So there's a little story at the beginning. And basically we are the little cursor that moves around on the screen here, and we can shoot things using at the bottom of the screen. You can see I've got like a little slingshot. With that I can interact with the environment, and I can shoot things like little apples. I think Pac-Man wants an apple. There we go. That's how the game works. It's sort of, you are doing almost like a point-and-click adventure. You're firing little items. And Pac-Man, I have no control over him. He's just sneaked past that dog without me doing anything. Ooh, let's see what's in the letter thing there. Can I shoot this? No. Can I shoot the spider? Oh, no, that's going to make him go over to the spider. That's bad. Okay, well, he managed there. Oh, let's shoot the crow. Oh, no, crow got attacked. Crow's attacking him. Ah! Okay, let me give him a power pellet. If he can stop moving. There we go. That's by hitting A on the controller. Now he's powered up and can take on any bad guys around, but of course there aren't any bad guys in this scene. It's a weird game. Like I say, kind of like a point-and-click adventure. You're just doing whatever's on screen. Good. Okay, he avoided that. Can I knock on the door? No. Can I? Okay. Yeah, oh, okay. It's very weird. Like, you interact strangely in the environment, and I don't really get it, but you are only the little cursor. You're just moving a little blinky cursor around on the screen. Pac-Man wanders around and does his own thing. Can I get that? Oh, I hit a power pellet. Hang on. He's off doing his own thing. This game gets a lot of hate, and I actually, after buying this, I found out online there's a guy who had done a video, or an article online. He said he has great memories of this game, and he is not happy that it gets the hate that it gets. But I guess that's the nature of the beast. Some games are just not winners. This one is very strange. The main game itself I wouldn't recommend getting. But here, back at the main menu, if you put in the password, P-C-M-N for Pac-Man, and then ORG, but there is no letter R, you'll know, or letter O. It goes from N to P. They've got a 0 instead. RG, Pac-Man org, and hit start. And we have unlocked Pac-Man. And it's pretty cool to be able to play it this way immediately and enjoy Pac-Man. How is this controller as a Pac-Man sort of joystick? It's okay. I feel it's a little mushy. Like, I almost get the feeling that there's little elastic bands, and that may actually genuinely be what's in here. It feels like it. I've played Pac-Man in various forms with like proper fight sticks. I've used my Street Fighter fight stick to play Pac-Man, and it's way snappier, and I've got my main machine Vol. He has an X-Arcade controller, much better gates inside there. This thing feels a little mushy, but it's fine, and it's nice and small, and I'm quite happy to be able to play Pac-Man at all. There's another game on this cartridge too. This time P-C-J-R, I wonder what that could stand for, D-P-W, I get Pac-Man Jr., which is pretty cool. So let me fire that up. Now this one's a little weird. I mean, you can see Junior Pac-Man has his little baseball cap on, and the toys will come out and bounce around the screen. There you go. I got a little baseball there that I got to grab, if I can. Well, I'm dead already. And it's got a different sound packet. It's got a different maze. It's got music. There's a little bit of a weirdness to this, though. Like, there's 3 rows here. Or, sorry, 2 rows of dots. That's a bit weird. And the colors are not exactly what you associate with Junior Pac-Man. In fact, if anything, they're what you associate with Ms. Pac-Man. Turns out, if you had played this on the Super NES and had put in a code, not the same code, but if you put in a password code, you unlock Ms. Pac-Man on that version. So I think what we've got here is essentially a palette swap between the Genesis and the Super NES. You've got Ms. Pac-Man in quotes, and this is what you get if you put in that particular code into this cartridge. You get a Ms. Pac-Man-esque collection of mazes, and you've got Junior Pac-Man as your character, and Junior Pac-Man's toys to collect, if I can get that one. There we go. So that's kind of interesting, but you know what? It's different, it's cool. I like the fact that I can play Junior Pac-Man and original Pac-Man on this Genesis cartridge, and they recognize this, the Power Clutch from ASCIIware. I really think, having bought this thing, it's nice and small. Not so wild about those sort of elasticated controls, but it has, you know, a bunch of different options here. And hey, at least I can play a Pac-Man, in fact, 2 Pac-Man games on this cartridge, which honestly, with a D-pad, I've always found that's a problem. At least this way, let's put in some names. At least this way I can play Pac-Man and Junior Pac-Man, or whatever this you would consider, and I can play it with a proper stick, like you would in the arcade. So I'm very happy with that. There is Ms. Pac-Man for the Sega Genesis, but I believe that does not recognize this controller. There's something in how this was designed, or else it's something to do with the vintage of those 2 cartridges. This one is from a different time than Ms. Pac-Man. Ms. Pac-Man does not recognize this controller, I think. I'm going to maybe pick it up if I can find it for cheap, because I'm curious to give it a whirl, but I know that that little project I had in mind also doesn't recognize this thing, so maybe Ms. Pac-Man won't either. But hey, I've at least got both options here on this Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures cartridge. I'm going to leave it there, so until next time, we'll see you down in the rabbit hole.